Good afternoon, everyone, and we welcome you back to the Garena Premier League Summer 2017. I am Vulcan, and with me is Iconic. We will be your shoutcasters for the second game when we came back from that first game between TME and Young Generation.
Yeah, so that was a really interesting game. Vietnam not even surrendering a single turret that game. It was pretty one-sided, if you ask me.
It was pretty much a stop for me because
Yeah,
Young Generation further showing the others out there that they really belong here, despite being the new team in the GPL scene. I gotta say, this is scary for the other teams to actually stay here in the GPL for quite some time.
yeah. Especially them punishing JLC as well. The teams are kind of learning that they should focus more on the side lanes of TME. But enough of that. Let's go into the pick and bans of Resurgence versus Headhunters.
So Resurgence, I gotta say, this is the team that has been not so consistent, but it does matter. But they do win games that do matter. But if ever they do win this game, the TME is actually at risk of getting a tiebreaker with Resurgence because this will shape up the last day of the group stages. So I think Resurgence would really like their spot in the second seed. So they'll be fighting up against the Headhunters, who have not been performing that well in this GPL.
Yeah, Resurgence need to win this game to get a better chance into securing a slot in the knockout stages, either versus the Gigabyte Marines or Ascension Gaming. So I feel like when we saw the Headhunters play yesterday with that Graves pick, it was more of just like a comfort pick for Chris Kyle. We saw how it was kind of a very solo queue-ish, how he played it,
Pick it again.
and I think we might see it again, actually. So Headhunters coach probably just telling them, pick whatever makes you comfortable, try to get as much experience as possible, because right now Headhunters, they're just playing for experience, but Resurgence, they're playing for
Be still
a slot in the knockout stage. So the question is right now, can Headhunters deny Resurgence this win? Or
Let's see though, because this is Headhunters. We did see their drafts where Chris Kyle got almost all the kills. So I wonder if they will pull up the same thing. So if actually if Resurgence wins this game, it's a do or die scenario for TME because this is big because if ever Resurgence wins this, TME's safeties is gonna have to win it because it's going to be a scenario where TME will have to do everything they can to actually make it towards the knockout stage. But ending their first picking phase, we are seeing Resurgence on a Zac, Thresh, and a Callista.
yeah, so very solid bot lane. They do know that Janna's already picked up, and I feel like securing a very aggressive bot lane is the key to actually dealing with a Janna. And then we kind of have a jugger composition as well. You know how strong Janna is right now in this patch with the Ardent Sensor. She can reset fights, restore the ADC to full HP. And I feel like this kind of reset is what you want, especially for a Kog'Maw who lacks mobility. So we have no mid laners or top laners selected yet so far. And the bans are pretty split, but Headhunters prioritizing the Lucian and the Jace. Both really strong flex picks. We have seen Jace being played mid and top throughout the first 3 days of this tournament. And Lucian, we have seen him a lot in mid lane, but who knows? They might pull out something cheesy and play him in the top lane.
But so far as ban goes, it will be a Jace, Lucian, Shen, and Corki banning out for the second phase. So Resurgence has yet to secure their top laner. There it is. It will be a Cho'Gath in the hands of Resurgence, followed by a Syndra. Interesting power picks coming from Resurgence. Whereas the Headhunters will be going for more of a team clash orientation where they do have strong engages and disengages to reset team fights. But we will be seeing Patrick on that Kassadin.
Yeah, so the Kassadin is very strong in this matchup because he can just slowly trade away with his null void spears just to protect him from the dark spears coming out from the Syndra. So as long as he can make it to like the mid-late game, he can start carrying his team. But I feel like Headhunters are putting too much right now in the late game. They have a really heavy scaling comp with the Kog'Maw and the Kassadin. So it's all up to Chris, Kyle, and Box to actually make sure that a lot of the pressure is applied onto Resurgence so that things don't get out of control.
I gotta say, for a Resurgence, their draft looks really scary. Very solid, but the Headhunters, the fact that they have that Juggernaut is something that you have to watch out for. We did see that in the first game of the group stages of day 3, the last day. The young generation completely wiped the floor with that composition, and that Jana was such a huge block, a huge barricade towards TAB from even engaging. So I wonder how Resurgence, this is going to be the do or die game. They want to win this.
Yeah, so Resurgence, it's also all up to their bot lane. Their bot lane is practically a kill lane with a Kalista Thresh. You want to land those hooks, you want to get the kills, you want to make sure that this Kog'Maw doesn't scale. The Janna is safe, but the moment the hook lands, it's fair game for the Kalista and the Thresh.
It's going to be game over for Resurgence if they do not dominate the bottom lane, whereas in the Headhunters, they have the saving grace in the bot lane. So far Headhunters, they're fighting for experience, right? But Resurgence, it's the two sides of the coin, where we're seeing a team very determined to make it to the play-in stage, knockout stage, whereas the other team, like, we want to have experience. So two sides of each different teams.
Yeah, but I feel like what you want as Headhunters as well is to try to end the tournament with a win, because it will help your morale boost. Coming out from this tournament, you'll still have like, hey, at least we didn't lose our last game in the GPL. We can go back to practice with our heads held high. And yeah, I feel like regardless of whether you have a chance of making it through or not, you still have to take every game seriously.
Yes, and this will be Resurgence against the Headhunters. Chris, Kyle, and Elise in. Whereas we're going to be seeing Ruben and Cruisers, Kog'Maw and Janak duo.
Yeah, so the top lane is going to be a really farm-heavy lane. But you can expect that the Gnar will take the advantage because of the range melee matchup. But Rock, actually not opting for a Doran Shield, will be crazy healthy in this matchup. Usually what you see nowadays is people get Doran's Ring on the Cho'Gath to make sure that you can sustain enough from the passive by getting a lot of HP and a lot of mana regen as well.
And this will be the Gnar against that Shogun, where I see that as Rock is going to be having a really difficult time, especially that Gnar is going to kite him beyond his own reach. Shogun has really short range compared to a Gnar.
Yeah, Cho'Gath's range is really low, but the question is, can he sustain? The question right now is, Box, can he put enough pressure onto Rock to start creating a CS lead? And can Rock actually hit him with the skill shots? Because you already have to deal with this really hard to land skill shots, and you also have a Gnar that has decent mobility and a really small hitbox.
And we are seeing that this matchup is more on who gets the level 6 first. If you see in the top lane, if Gnar gets the level 6, he's going to be this threat with his super CC to the wall, whereas Rock will have that feast. But also in the mid lane, Patrick is having a difficult time against this Syndra, but not as difficult as other mid laners. But if ever level 6 does happen for Intreso, I don't think Patrick can escape from those unleashed powers.
Yeah, but the thing is, right now, Patrick does actually have the upper hand because he has been chunking out Intreso a lot. Intreso has no more potions. We will expect Patrick to actually recall in a bit. Maybe after Chris Kyle does something in the mid lane.
No ward spotted in the river for Resurgence. It'll be Intreso flashing away, but the shockwave will connect. It will be a resonating strike, but gets denied with the Scarred Awake teleport coming in from the top lane. Rock will be joining in, but with Box flanking Intreso now with the Turtle very low. Also for Chris Kyle. Chris Kyle will begin the first blood to Eternal. There is the cell division. Patrick trying to chop Intel's speed down. It'll be Patrick taking the kill with his flash being spent for a trade-off, and with Box being slowed by those Vorpal spikes. It will be a disengage with a 1-for-1 trade. The first blood going towards Resurgence.
Yeah, but one thing you have to take note is Headhunters have the double buff secured for them.
It's on Patrick.
on Patrick as well, and Patrick still has his teleport, so he will be able to teleport back into this lane and then get the EXP lead over Intresso. One thing you can also take note is that Patrick was the one who got the kill, and Intresso just got an assist. You also have the TP advantage for Box as well, so right now I think that is a net win for Headhunters, even though they lost out a little bit on the gold.
The Ignite is on to Ruben. Ruben will be getting away safely under his own turret. But with the kill from the mid lane, it looks like Patrick goes straight for the blasting wand. That is good news for Patrick. He will be trading up more favorably, whereas Intresso picks up the Dark Seal and boots.
Yeah, you want those combat stats coming out from the blasting wand. People usually, when they go for the Rod of Ages, they believe that Catalyst is better, but the thing is, with Catalyst doesn't give you the combat stats that you need. So look here, actually, a lot of what happened was a lot of denied skill shots and a lot of missed skill shots coming out from Headhunters. Chris Kyle will, as you can see, he goes for Eternal. The boomerang missed from Box, and then Chris Kyle misses his Q again, and then the flash coming out from Rock. So it was really good that they were able to secure the double buffs still. Like, Rock was able to wasn't able to get the kill. The kill actually went on to Eternal, so the double buff transfer went to the Zac, and then it went to Patrick. So it was actually net win for Headhunters if they can capitalize on this.
And with a double buff in the hands of Patrick, I think Eternal wants what his is back. Here comes the gang from Eternal. The skill shots will not connect onto Patrick. Patrick, without the double buff, will back away, so Eternal's revenge will not happen.
Yeah, but what's curious here right now is look at the CS lead that Intresso has over Patrick. It's almost non-existent. The moment this wave will crash, if Patrick can get all of the minions, they'll be even in CS, and that's actually a minor gold lead in favor of Patrick.
And when we're talking about CS, look at that top lane. 44 to 29, it will be Box really controlling the lane, having the advantage against Rock. So, junglers-wise, I think Chris Kyle got a really good start on that first gank assist. Whereas Eternal will have more powerful engages, but it's the fact that Chris Kyle is a more mobile jungler, more quick cast compared to a Zac.
Yeah, the top lane CS lead actually started when Rock lost top lane priority, had to teleport for that first blood fight, and then what happened was Box actually teleported back to the top lane, and then Chris Kyle immediately ganked the top lane and forced Rock to back again. So Rock actually lost out on 2.5 wave of minions, and that's actually why Box is so far ahead.
The fact that Box really picked well against that Cho'Gath. I mean, even if the Cho'Gath gets the Righteous Glory Rush, I don't think he can really catch a Gnar to begin with that leap. And the fact that Gnar has that mechanic where he becomes Mega Gnar and completely deny the engage coming from Rock.
Yeah, I feel like what happened was the main problem there was they shouldn't have taken that really extended fight. One of the peculiar things there is that Intresso's pathing was very weird. Instead of going straight to the jungle, he starts walking towards the river and then gets met by Box's boomerang, and then he ends up not doing anything as well. And they should have realized that they didn't have top lane priority, so Rock actually was put in a really awkward spot and is now being punished for it with almost a 20 CS lead.
It's the small things that can lead to big results, big changes in how the laning phase can do. The teleport should not be this big deal, but in this GPL scene, it's huge. So this is going to be more on, let's see, how resourceful you are, how clever you are in using what you have.
Yeah, I like how Headhunters as well are really good at punishing the usage of the early flashes and that early teleport. They immediately punish Rock, they immediately punish Intresso, and Eternal needs to do something to actually even tip the scales towards their favor again, because right now it seems like Headhunters have the momentum.
The momentum is on their side, so they do have some good start, but it's about how you can keep that start and lead it on, because that advantage you have right now can change. And now we're seeing Chris Kyle over that wall. There is a ward, but it is cancelled by a control ward. Rock will be going back. It will be Chris Kyle trying to force a gank here, but we do see Intresso. Chris Kyle goes there, bursting on hell, and here comes the Unleashed Power. Intresso with a combo will take down Box.
I like how Intresso realizes that he will have a hard time killing Patrick. Patrick does have that null magic mantle, has that ruby crystal, so a lot of extra HP coming out. So if he does use his Unleashed Power, it might not be as effective compared to a naked Gnar.
Garena Patrick trying to punish Intresso. He does have the blue buff, so he will be poking a lot to Patrick, but it's that ruby crystal, as you said, and the innate shield, magic shield from the Cassidon's kit will really favor Patrick, but with level 6 reach, Intresso has no ultimate. Patrick is using this time to really punish Intresso.
Yeah, so they did that gank onto Box to try and achieve something, but sadly, the CS lead is still there for Box. The waves weren't favorable enough. Sure, they got the kill, but they didn't actually deny Box too much CS. They didn't put him in a really bad spot. Sure, they got Rock a little bit more experience to close the gap between them, but I feel like Box is still way far ahead by maybe half or even 25% of a level, and this could be something big in the future, because as you can see, as we were talking about, that Box just hit level 7 while Rock is newly level 7 as well, so the gap closing, but we will see if they can actually do something about it later on.
The battle of the better shoes right here. We're seeing that Rock rushing that Tabby to deny some AD, and we see that Rock actually finishing up getting the Ruby Crystal for more defensive stats, well as Box getting the more offensive stats with the Longsword and the Mercury Thread. So height-wise, it'll still be Box having the huge advantage, and now their blue buff for the Headhunters might be taken away.
It would have actually been interesting if we saw Gentleman Gnar versus Gentleman Cho'Gath in top lane. That would have been, you know, something like they could have done to make it a little more cute and interesting.
But it'll be a flash actually being denied by Ruben. His flash got caught off by Eternal. What a play from Eternal to deny any form of escape for Ruben.
Yeah, that was a beautiful flash predict from Ares, landing the hook even when Ruben threw his flash upwards. So good job on him actually catching the Kog'Maw.
It's like his flash didn't even make him move at all. But with this said, thanks to the kill onto Ruben, it will be Resurgence taking away the first blood, going all the way to Ciela for a 650 gold. Patrick going in, it will be Eternal responding while Ares is behind him. Look at Cruz and trying his best to save his mid laner. Patrick will be getting the heal and trying to take down Intresso, but with two members, physical damage onto you, it's very difficult, but the exhaust is there for the save. Patrick survives that thanks to his defensive stats with the Catalyst.
Yeah, and Chris Kyle has been missing these sonic waves that actually matter. That could have been, he could have done something there had he landed that sonic wave. So right now, Headhunters, they are slowly losing the momentum that they got from that really good early 3v3 skirmish. And the question is, how will they keep this Kalista under control? Because the Kalista was able to get solo turret gold, and she's already a Bilgewater Cutlass up against her counterpart.
And now with the Blade of the Ruined King not too far behind, but let's see the replay between Rock and Chris Kyle.
So actually a lot of fighting here, and they commit a lot. They actually might get Rock. But the thing is, this fight, Patrick, they could have gone onto him had the Sonic Wave actually landed. They could have gone onto either Ares or Eternal, popped his Cell Division, and then took out a really important cooldown for the side of Resurgence. Maybe get Dragon priority out of that.
Yeah, the first Drake is Mountain. Really one of the high priority Drakes, but one of the most risky Drakes to take if you're not ready. And right now, I don't think it will be Headhunters risking that. They have yet to complete the Blade of the Ruined King for Ruben. He does not have any form of lifesteal and damage, so this will be Resurgence controlling the bot lane.
Yeah, I feel like it's also very scary because Rock does have that Feast, which is 1000 true damage. He can outsmite Chris Kyle until Chris Kyle's level 18, so I feel like they want to get rid of Rock before trying to, for that Mountain Drake.
Ruben!
Everybody keep their eyes on that.
Why with a fake check and a double CC? Oh, that's a bit too much for Resurgence. Really not showing mercy towards Ruben. Just forced to sit it out and watch the world burn in front of him with Entresto to finish off his support. What a huge lockdown.
Yeah, they're not giving Ruben any time to scale. Remember, we were talking about like in the pick and ban phase how Ciela and Ares have to shut down Ruben and Crusher. And so far it's been a really effective way. Look at how the kill participation coming out from Ares, 3 already. But one person I must commend right now for Resurgence is Entreso. 100% kill participation. He is 3-0 and 2, and he might add one more.
Oh boy, look at the Blasco being denied. Entresto play Chris Kyle like a ping pong ball. Only Patrick going over that wall with his Rift Walk to avoid danger.
Yeah, but the combo coming out from Headhunters is still really strong because they do have a Gnar. If that Gnar can set something up for his team, they have a ton of AoE damage to deal with the Resurgence composition.
So far, with a timer at 13 minutes and 20 seconds into the game, kill score 5-2 with Resurgence having the advantage. Goal lead of, let's see, not that significant, just 2,000, but it's the fact that Ciela has the gold advantage, more item advantage. He did not complete his Blade of the Ruined King, picks up another dagger.
Yeah, so he's actually opting for a Wit's End instead. Because I feel like that's actually smart. Because 3 out of the 5 members of Resurgence actually deal a lot of magic damage. Cho'Gath, Zac, and the Syndra. So he wants to try beefing up a little bit with that magic resist, just to make sure he doesn't get insta-give by anyone.
And I don't understand Ruben's build with the Negatron Cloak being rushed.
Yeah, that's for the Wit's End actually. Yeah, so the Wit's End will come out, and then I feel like it does make sense to prioritize it because if he doesn't get any early magic resist, he will become useless until he gets 2 to 3 items.
But it further delays his damage output and his sustain, especially with he does have that his kit permits him to attack so fast, so his lifesteal really matters here.
Yeah, I feel like the Ardent Sensor can mitigate some of the lack of lifesteal because you do have a drain HP when you have the Ardent Sensor. And a minor perk of getting the Wit's End as the first item is Patrick will be able to deal more damage. So what will happen is he will prioritize the Wit's End. It's going to become a second item, Runan's Hurricane. So he'll be shredding 3 targets mana resistance. And then that will give way for Patrick to actually deal more AoE magic damage. But again, this is all situational. It's hypothetical whether or not Ruben can actually survive the initial engage coming out from Resurgence. It's really on to Crusher to deny the engage, deny the Righteous Glory Cho'Gath, deny the jump coming out from Eternal Envy, and also the Faith's Call coming out from Ciela and Ares. So Crusher has his work cut out for him this game.
So far, the Rift Herald will be taken away by Resurgence. No visions for Headhunters. This will be uncontested, so Resurgence do have the advantage when it comes to the objective. 2 turrets, 1 Drake, and now the Rift Herald for Resurgence. So Headhunters, I wonder what's their game plan here. Chris Kyle likes to play it, as you said, very solid Q-ish. Here comes that goes next thing. On to Ruben. What a nightmare to be a Kog'Maw in this game. A huge setback for the bot lane of Headhunters.
Yeah, their bot lane is already 0-5 collectively.
Righteous Glory for the slow. Rock. Flash a bit too early. Chris Kyle was still able to connect to him with his resonating strike. With the Mega Gnar stunning him towards the wall. Tanking the turret. The knockup is there, but it will be Chris Kyle. Perhaps,
Box
despite
dies.
some time, and for a 1-for-1 trade.
Yeah, so Box actually taking 1 extra hit. Box also missed his stun as well. And had he landed that stun, he wouldn't have died.
That is a bit of a setback for Resurgence. Actually, Headhunters because they are giving Rock another trade-off, so he is not going to be far behind. And it's the fact that Box right now is 0-3 with a Black Cleaver finish.
Yeah, and one thing you have to take note of with this Gnar versus this Cho'Gath is the Gnar is not going to build defensively because he still needs his Frozen Mallet to become relevant. Gnar is one of the tanks in this game that doesn't get any magic resist or armor until the third item, which is something that you'd usually see as well in a Jarvan. But the thing is, Jarvan already provides a lot of utility compared to Gnar. He has this innate tanky ability as well with the Golden Aegis to shield himself. He gives a lot of attack speed to his team. So I feel like Box is gonna keep on dying for a while. Chris Kyle as well. Not a lot. No one's actually very tanky on the side of Headhunters. I feel like the tankiest member right now is actually Patrick.
That's very ironic for the mid laner of Headhunters to be the frontliner, so it'll be Box really delaying his defensive stats, but he does have the Mega Gnar form, but that's just a periodic buff, so it's not really reliable. Once you're in Mini Gnar, you're very squishy, you're very vulnerable, but it'll be Resurgence catching up on that timing. We see Eternal might go in for a tower dive, changes his mind, the turret is still there. Patrick will rift walk away from the death sentence.
Yeah, and they do get to hold this turret because one thing you can take note of is Resurgence's Siege isn't crazy strong. And the wave crit coming out from Patrick is strong enough to actually deal with it.
And look at Rock. He can't even get away from that, but here comes Eternal with a two-man knockup and a Let's Bounce to deliver the package to his Resurgence. Eternal is very low. Heal will be flashing away, but Cielo will clean up the act with Ruben taking away, however, a kill. Cielo will try to back up Patrick with the respawn and the teleport.
Might go down.
He will be going down, giving the double kill to Patrick.
So I feel like Headhunters need Patrick to hard carry them right now because all the gold is on him. He is the scaling mid laner as well that needs to get the items. So we'll see how Patrick can carry his team on his shoulders.
I wonder if Patrick will be actually this spotlight. Like, he will build a Roa, now he's going for the Lich Bane. Damage-wise, Headhunters has this assassin in the mid lane, but that assassin needs this front line. I really am waiting for Box to really scale up. He is going for that Frozen Mallet path, so I wonder, will this be the time where Headhunters can bounce back?
Yeah, and I do like the Spectre's Cowl itemization coming out from Patrick, just to make sure that he won't get insta-gibbed by any of these. By again, the triple magic damage coming out from Resurgence. It's really smart. I feel like Headhunters know where they are right now and how they should play this game. Nice and slow, wait to scale, and then they actually might stand a chance against the composition of Resurgence. Because late game, I feel like you need to be scared of this Kassadin. You need to be scared of this Kog'Maw empowered with the Janna, and then Chris Kyle being a tanky frontliner who will peel for this Kog'Maw as well. So I wonder if Resurgence are aware of this, and right now it seems like Resurgence just want to stay the course. So you see that Eternal goes for a full dive, but what happens is Crusher is the target of Cielo instead of Patrick. I feel like Cielo should have actually prioritized Patrick over Crusher because Crusher already used his Monsoon, he already used his Summoners, and had Patrick died there instead of Crusher, it would have been a different story. A little bit of missed target selection coming out, poor target selection coming out from Cielo.
And this will be the second Drake of the game. Resurgence with the stats from the Mountain Drake. 2 Mountain Drakes, that's going to be huge. And now, Fate's Call, Sun 2. Ruben. I feel sorry for Ruben right now. It is the worst time to be a Kog'Maw when you're seeing a Kalista, a Thresh. And now with Ruben gone, no more ADC, go for the Baron, but will they go for a steal?
Yeah, so Patrick does go down. Chris Kyle tries to go for the steal, but then fails the steal and loses his life in the process as well. So right now, things are looking very grim for Headhunters. You can see that we already have 13 stacks on the Magi Soul Stealer for Entresso. Entresso will be getting a lot of gold efficiency out of this Magi Soul Stealer if he gets those 15 stacks, getting that movement speed boost. And right now, Impresso is very, very scary with all that magic pen. Again, we were talking about Box not having the defensive stats. He will be the #1 target right now for Impresso because all of the other members of Headhunters do have magic resistance aside from Crusher as well.
I'm really scared for Patrick because he will be the center stage. He will be the high priority, as we saw what happened in the Baron area. So right now, Resurgence, they do have 2 mountains and a Baron. This is huge. They will capitalize on that Baron and really squeeze that buff till the last round. I bet they can take down the whole base.
Yeah, this looks like they're just committing 5 people to top lane.
They have the mountain. They can do this.
And they can brute force it as well.
Look at that. Without even a minute or 30 seconds, they are taking out that turret. Let's see. My god, that turret is not even lasting, and it will be Headhunters trying to retaliate. Ladder is there for the safeguard. Already half HP down.
Yes, and all they need to do right now is just wait for the next wave to come through, and they will be able to chip this turret even more. And one thing to take note of is that they have a lot of hard engage coming out from Resurgence, so they can choose, they will go for it the moment this turret does go down.
Patrick cannot even go in without the risk of his life. This will be the last stand for the Headhunters. With the that is connecting onto Box, but with Rock prioritizing Patrick, gobbles him up, and I think the Headhunters are scrambling around. They do not have their main carry. They don't know what to do. With Resurgence taking advantage of this confusion, will take down the inhibitor.
I'm confused as well because Patrick wasn't silenced, but he just randomly walked up to the enemy team and then immediately took 60%, 70% of his HP.
And one piece is more than enough to clean him up. So this will be Resurgence actually rushing this Nexus turret, really aiming to end this game as fast as they can, but without any risk. There will be a reset for this.
Yeah, so like right now you can see that Resurgence is taking their time, and Impresso 17 stacks already on that Magi Soul Stealer, has the needlessly large rod as well. It has so much damage, so much magic penetration. It's going to be so hard for Headhunters to actually withstand his damage, let alone the damage of Ciela, who is 5-1 and 3.
And I don't think Patrick is actually the only member performing really well in a way, because look at the CS 227 with a build path of 3 locked items, whereas we are seeing Box has yet to complete the Frozen Mallet.
So as you can see right there, Patrick, for some reason, put your eyes on Patrick. Patrick randomly walks up, he's silenced, and then he walks up instead of walking back. And then just instantly dies. Eternal instantly removes the Gnar away from the fight as well, and CL is just free to go where he pleases.
And now with the Barons gone, not just yet, pretty soon, so this will be Resurgence trying for the mid lane and perhaps the bot lane.
As you can see right now, Ciela is already building a small minion wave in the bottom lane. The moment this will crash, they will be able to take the bot lane tier 2, and then they can make both waves crash together in the mid lane and bot lane if they tap the wave right. If they play the minion, if they manage the wave right and take this turret at the exact right time.
So far, Headhunters forced to defend the top lane because of the super minions. Resurgence with the assistance of the Mountain Drake and the burst.
Yeah, Impresso 3-shotting Crusher.
Oh boy,
not
Patrick,
having any magic.
oh my goodness, look at that damage coming from the Feast with Impresso completing up the kill. So this will be the Headhunters losing towards Resurgence, and Resurgence winning a very crucial point in their chances towards the knockout stage.
Yeah, I gotta commend Impresso having a perfect game, snowballing like crazy. Even though they lost that level 1, the first 3v3 skirmish, they still ended up not conceding a lot out of that and actually flipping the script on Headhunters and taking them out.
With that said, the Headhunters having a hard time here. 3 inhibitors will be taken down, so without any much Resistance. Patrick again, a bit too curious. Forced the Rift walk away. Very low on health. Beast not yet available with Eternal. Very low on health will be Intreso. Fending them off with Chris Kyle. Being a bit too fearless.
Yeah, but they are playing very safe. They don't want to take unnecessary risks. They will go for this Ocean Drake. All they want to do is just deny this Drake again, try to get the reset, maybe get the third Mountain Drake. But I feel like they just need to wait for the Baron. The moment Baron comes up, they get it. They have a lot of ways to secure the Baron with the Cho'Gath and the Ren coming out from Ciela. So I feel like Chris Kyle needs to make a miracle steal and survive
But the Miracles,
for them to actually have a chance to defend this.
if they do get the Baron, however, for the Headhunters, is that going to be it? Because as we are seeing right now, their base, 2 inhibitors down, 1 Nexus turret gone. I don't think Resurgence will let this.
I
Baron.
feel like Resurgence want to end this game now. You see that Rock has committed his teleport onto the bottom lane. Chris Kyle does use his Dragon's Rage, but that doesn't deal any damage to a Cho'Gath as tanky as this.
And the sustain from his passive will regenerate him back quickly. So that's 1 ultimate down for Chris Kyle. 1 more to go for the Headhunters, because 1 more turret down for them, this will guarantee Resurgence victory.
And as you can see, the moment Baron does come up, they will all go for it. I don't know why Rock chose to use his teleport at bottom lane, but I guess when you're this far ahead, you can use your teleport however you want, because unless Headhunters pull off a miracle defense, it looks like they have no chance of winning this game.
This will be a Resurgence further nailing the coffin to H2, the Headhunters. And with the Baron in hands for them, this will be their concluding fight with Patrick left alone. Let's see the master predictions. Oh, the predictions are not that on point, but I don't think you need much predictions when you have a huge AoE stun. With Patrick gone, the key member of the Headhunters, and with only 1 Nexus turret remaining, this will be Resurgence ending the game and Headhunters.
Yeah, Chris Kyle though, still surviving, still preserving his KDA. So at least Chris Kyle gets a better KDA than, you know, most of his teammates. I do feel bad for Ruben and Crusher because they weren't able to do much this game.
So with that said, this will be Resurgence securing their victory against the Headhunters in Game 2 of the last day of the group stages. Congratulations to Resurgence. They will have another game. That will be the last game actually for TME.
Do or die.
Resurgence. This will be a do or die scenario. You guys should look forward to watching that. But let's get back to the game. I mean, Patrick was the only member, in my opinion, trying to fight back strong.
I feel like the Box did a good job as well. Like, I have to commend Chris Kyle, Box, and Patrick. They were performing really well. But the thing is, their bot lane just lost it for them. Ruben and Crusher weren't feeling it today. They ended up losing the bot lane so hard. Remember, the Callisto Crash, you can't allow them to get a single kill or else they'll snowball out of control. And that's what they did. And
yeah, the 1 single kill was kind of confusing because I thought that Ruben would have actually good laning phase, judging by how it went, but after the first kill, just snowball after snowball.
yeah, sadly the 3v3 skirmish that they won wasn't good enough for to put Headhunters that far ahead that they could just steamroll it. So Ciela and Ares doing a really good job in the bottom lane.
So guys, there you have it with Resurgence securing the victory against Headhunters. This concludes the Game 2 with their victory. We have been the Shoutcasters. I am Vulcan, and with me is Iconic. We'll be back after a short break for the continuation of the GPL Summer 2017.